gaining 4 life, making 4 1/1s, getting I don't know if we want to bounce the casket or not. Channeler's a decent draw engine. Let's leave that. Good game. They're not into it. And again, continuing with this miraculous win rate. We threw one of the matches, so it would be 100%, winning 6 in a row. But we did go 7-1 instead. So hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we are playing Esper Doom in best of 1 with an 85% win rate. It should have been 100, but we threw one of the matches. We were, it feels unfair to win so much. Here you have one, right? So we had to give a match away. But again, climbing into Platinum 1 with an 85% win rate using Esper Doom. Let's take a look at it. Obviously, the deck revolves around Doom Foretold, an enchantment for 4. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard a card, lose 2 life. You draw a card, gain 2 life, and create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Then you sacrifice Doom Foretold. So there is a lot going on there. Not only does it lock your opponent down to having to play more than 1 permanent each turn and hope you don't have removal for the 2nd and 3rd, or they basically have to sit back, let it fizzle, take the negative effects, and then progress. Because if you're just continually playing 1 non-land permanent into it, having it sacked, you'll never get anywhere, and just allow your opponent, or in this case us, to draw more cards, gain more control, and amass a higher amount of value in the board state. So most of the deck revolves around Doom Foretold. We have a lot of non-land, non-token permanents to sacrifice. Getting into those, one of the most notable is Treacherous Blessing, an enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose 1 life. When Treacherous Blessing becomes a target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Typically, you want to play this after Doom Foretold because of the negative connotation of losing 1 life whenever you play a spell. However, when times get tough, drawing 3 cards could get the deal done for you, or the job done, right? So, try to play this after Doom. If you're playing it before Doom Foretold, it's a real risk because there's not so many different ways to get rid of it, which is unfortunate, right? So that's the main strategy within the deck, is to play your Doom Foretold, get Treacherous Blessing on top. You're going to gain a whole bunch of value. Your opponent's not going to have any value. You can immediately sack your Treacherous Blessing. There are a couple other things that we'll do late game. Obviously, we're sacking one of our non-land things every turn, non-land, non-tokens, like Treacherous Blessing. So every turn another will go to the graveyard. When our opponents mill us, they'll go to the graveyard. When they counter them, they'll go to the graveyard, and they might even remove them, so they'll go to the graveyard a multitude of ways. And then we'll bring them back with Dance of the Manse, a sorcery for 2+X. Return X target artifact and or non-aura enchantment cards, each with converted mana cost X or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, so a total of 8 mana spent, those permanents will be 4/4 creatures in addition to their other types. This is really, really cool because a lot of our non-land, non-token permanents will have enter the battlefield effects. Getting into some of those, the Golden Egg, when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Omen of the Sea with Flash, when it enters battlefield, scry 2, draw a card. We have the Glass Casket, when it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with mana less than 3 until it leaves the battlefield. So this is cool because you can grab a token, right, and then sack the casket and they don't get anything back. Moving on, we also have Omen of the Sun, when it enters battlefield, gain 2 life, create 2 1/1s, which is very cool as well. Elspeth's Nightmare, this might be in play, but it does sacrifice itself if you're not quick enough with your Doom Foretold. And again, when it enters, destroy target creature and opponent controls with power 2 or less. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, they discard it, then finally exile their graveyard. And we also have Elspeth Conquers Death within a similar scenario, being an enchantment saga that it will sacrifice itself. But again, just huge value. If you can exile target permanent and opponent controls with mana 3 or greater, and then just sacrifice Elspeth Conquers Death to keep Doom Foretold alive, I think you're still winning. And of course, you can let it go on to non-creature spells your opponent casts, cost 2 more to cast until your next turn, and return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield, put a +1/+1 or a loyalty counter on it. Speaking of things we want to bring back from the graveyard with Elspeth Conquers Death, the main culprit is Yorion the Sky Nomad. This syncs very well with the deck synergies of the ETB effects from the non-land permanents. Not only will Dance of the Manse have all of those re-trigger, but Yorion the Sky Nomad can do the same. This is a 4/5 with flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control, return those to the battlefield at the beginning of your next end step. So all those things we just mentioned, we can replay them onto the field and re-have those ETB effects trigger, which is really, really cool, and you're just going to get so much value out of that your opponent won't keep up. So there's 3 copies of Yorion in the main deck, and we do have 1 within the companion as well. When you have Yorion as the companion, obviously you have to play with 80 cards in your deck. I'm sure you guys all know this by now. Each companion has their own deck building rule, and we have 1 copy of Eliminate in the deck for good luck, 2 copies of Heartless Act also in there for relative luck as removal. Elspeth Nightmare is also that removal, so is Conqueror's Death. We have further removal within Extinction Event. Choose odd or even, exile each creature with the chosen value. And the Apparition is a form of removal as well, I guess you could say. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls with 4 or less. And then when it dies, they create an XX, with X being that card's converted mana cost that was exiled. Archon of Sun's Grace is going to be our sustainability engine. Whenever you cast an enchantment, create a 2/2 Pegasi. It's a 3/4. With flying and lifelink, and other Pegasi you control will have lifelink as well, so that's really good. We talked about how important some of these lands are within our deck building guide for you guys. If you've seen it, if not, check it out. If you are new to the game and you're looking to expand your collection, maybe not play a monocolored deck, I have to say a lot of these cards are really cool, but where you need to focus is your land. You need to have 4 Fabled Passages right out of the gates, and then I would start working on my pathways if I were you. You can sprinkle in Temple of Deceits and Temple of Silences for a little bit of consistency early game, as we never have a 1-drop within the deck, right? It's very unique to be able, or needing to catch your 2-drop on turn 2 as well. So you can get a couple scries in without any harm there. And of course, we do have more pathways and more Temple of Alignments for the scry, and some basic lands as well. So the deck list is going to be in the description for you guys. All you need to do is lace the field with non-land permanents, play Doom Foretold, and then you'll take advantage from there. Try to bounce all of those permanents with Yorion as well to get massive amounts of value. And again, we had a 7-1 session today, 85% win rate for you guys. Should have been, 6-0, but we had to play an extra match because we threw 1 of them. So I hope you enjoy. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and our Amazon link. And of course, just every single like and subscription counts as well. So I appreciate your time and attention. Make sure to watch to the end so you don't miss out on our closing thoughts, and enjoy. I really like this hand. There's plenty of land. We have a Doom Foretold, and we have a wipe if it's an aggro deck. So this works out for us very, very well. We're gonna get the scry out of the way first. Obviously there's no 1-drop, so just coming in tapped is of no consequence, and the scry is actually of relative benefit. So there's plenty of land in hand already. I think we're looking for more non-land permanents like Omen of the Sun, the Guild Globe, Mazemind Tome, whatever else there is. The Blessing is absolutely going to do it for us. That's really, really good. Let's keep the fact that we are playing Esper away from our opponent. Oof. Rogues. I hate rogue. Alright. Their 3rd land. Oh, Luris. I mean, yeah, that's really good. I'm gonna Nightmare the Rogue. Getting in their hands a huge help. Getting into their graveyard's a huge help. They're gonna have to now spend their Luris ability or their mana on the Thought Thief again, right? If they want to play it, because I don't think you can use the Luris ability on your opponent's turn, even though the Thought Thief has flash. The Luris ability is only active during your own turn. So they hit us for 3, down to 16. They go to 23, whatever. That's not our get. And then I assume the thought. Oh, Scavenger. So we have odd and odd, and that's going to set us up for just a delicious looking Extinction Event. And we take their draw engine, bingo bango bongo, and still not revealing the fact that we're actually Esper. Shh, don't tell them. Hidden in the tie. And yeah, we hit here for odd, and that should win us the game. Looking forward to the next turns, they have a Drown in the Lock. You know, they also have a Zarathan. We pull in. I think we've got it handled. Right, now let's bust out. Oh wait, we're an Esper deck. And I believe that a Treacherous Blessing is... Well, they could counter that. Let's pass our turn. Omen in. If they play Zarathan, they have no mana to protect it with Drown in the Lock. Eliminate doesn't hit it. Extinction Event does. Doom Foretold does as well. Let's pull their mana here on their turn. Right? They should counter this. They don't. That's great. Now we can just push tempo. Attacking, trying to pull a permanent out. They're not into it. We're just going to hold up another Omen of the Sun. They do have 3 cards that we don't know about, which is kind of gross. Trying to get them to spend mana on their turn again. Nope. We're up to 20. And we'll be taking them down to 17. We have plenty of black sources. We have another island. Not that we need it for really anything other than Omen of the Sea, Dance of the Manse. Let's hit for 4. Into the damage. At some point you want to start dealing with that. And a nice thing here is eliminates instant speed. So we can end our... No, we'll bring Yorion into our hand. And then we're going to hold up eliminate. We could also try to pull their counter with Treacherous Blessing. Oh, it itself has flash. I did not even realize that. We should have kept 1 back to defend. I forgot that it had flash. I thought, of course it has to have flash. RTFC, you guys. If you want to improve at the game, read the fucking card! Alright, it's actually not that bad, though. See what they take. Obviously an Elspeth's Nightmare. Which makes things super awkward for us. But that empties our grave if they're taking something down to 3. That allows our, you know, plays to be made with non-traditional counters. So if they take our graveyard down to 3, that allows our Doom Foretold to hit. They take a land. That's awesome. I love that. This is okay, because we can pull the counter spell now, finally. Right? We can just hit odd, get Luris again. Actually, let's cancel that. Let's see if they've got anything else left to play, because they're playing this Lantern, which is awkward. And they're taking something out of our graveyard again. We're down to 2. Now it is our turn. Let's try to take Lurrus. They have mana to counter it, so, you know, they will. That puts 3 in our grave and lock out of hand. Right? So we have 6 mana available. Not enough. Since they're tapped, I think we just squeeze Doom Foretold out. Let's be honest. Let's take our scry. Apparition's amazing. That's gonna take us home. No attacks. It was foolish of us to attack earlier. Thank goodness they only took a land from us. You know, we could event on Oz just to take Lurrus, I think, at a certain point. Like you say. They're recycling the Lantern, which is good. Never a bad play. Get around Doom. That actually works really well. We're gonna take one of our Omens out, and then we'll event on Odds. That Soul Guide Lantern's really good to be cycled back and forth, but if they're reducing our graveyard all the time, that makes their deck less viable, I think. And the only thing we do here is chump block and... well, why wouldn't we, actually? Right? This seems odd to me. Xerath is even. Oh, Xerath is odd! Oh my gosh, I thought Xerath was for 4. Bruh. Twitch chat is screaming at me right now. Odd! Odd! That's fine though, we don't much mind. We could have kept all of our tokens live exiled. Oh my gosh. I guess let's take it. They're gonna sack this to draw, so it's like we don't really get anything. Some days, you guys. I don't play against Xerath enough. And Xerath and Lurrus in the same deck? That's not right. So they can just sack their Windrobber here. They don't. Oh no, they can't. We don't have 8 engrave. More great plays by yours truly. Pulling their counter spell here if they have it. This is definitely not something you let enter the field. The ability cost of Xerath is even. That's why I think that. Okay. Nonetheless, that's still an embarrassing misplay, and you know, you guys can learn here through my errors and struggles. It's odd how many times you can misplay and still relatively come out ahead. They can't play a permanent this turn, or else just get sacked, which is fine. We could sack our own Doom, but I'd rather box them in another turn. The egg is great. That allows us to box them in another turn. Plus we get a draw, so more non-land permanents to keep our Doom rolling. Just the land is nothing great. We may as well Yorion. We know there's no counters and we can get another draw from the egg at least. Por favor. Guess the land can go in, it doesn't much matter. Let's hit for 1. If I were them, I'd sack the Lantern now, and then our Doom would fizzle. Just a thought. A little bit of removal doesn't matter at all. Having them top deck with a Yorion in play is really nice. The robber can block it, but we can eat that alive. Smash the egg out. Game. 75%, and we threw one of those matches. We should be at a 100% win rate, just like we almost threw this match. So a very powerful deck, and you know, let's see if we can get into Platinum 1 with it. I think this land won't do, so we're gonna toss it. This looks a lot better. Let's toss a single Nightmare. Holding on to the event, that's gonna be really handy against this, you know, even or odd aggro deck, right? So basically, Extinction Event should win us the game right out of the gate here. We're gonna have to see though. We're gonna try to play really slow, not make so many mistakes as we always do. And yeah, try to pay more attention to the game, less attention to Twitch. You guys are so distracting. Even though you're not doing anything wrong, it's just I'm distracted by it. Egg it up. We're gonna obviously kind of limp it along first with things like the Nightmare before we lose our event, to try to have the majority of their hand in play. They're just trying to ramp, which is like whatever. They're just gonna ultimatum, right? So let's take Dream Machine. Thank you. And then we'll probably get this tempo in play. Oof. 3 tears. Are you serious? Wow. That's crazy. Try and find single target removal for these terrors. I mean, it shuts it down, but at the same time, when the next enters the battlefield, it just kills it. Oh, they drew a henge. Wow, these Elspeth Nightmares are doing just a magnificent job for us. I want to keep some shenanigans around. Let's just utilize our mana as efficiently as we can. They don't have any 1/1s, so the Lovestruck Beast can just sit there, right? It's the land drop to 5 that really worries us. It's tapped at least. So we get to scry here. I mean, it's not bad. It doesn't deal with those, but it can help us find something that does deal with those. And that's always nice, right? Let's try to find a swamp, or sorry, an island here. Or Archon of Sun's Grace. That's real good. It's like, how are we going to deal with these terrors? We play the Archon, they kill the Archon, we bring it back. But the Omen should still go, and we should look for more removal underneath of it. even though it's a nice enchantment. Oh, we're able to cast it through the egg. Like, how are we able to cast Omen? Yeah, we'll end our turn here. We'll probably end up taking a draw with the Tome. And then, you know, the beast is odd, and whatever they play on top of it's going to be odd as well. So maybe we do the event and grab them both. Or we single target the first. Grab the both the next. I don't think it matters too much. Wish we had more land, is the thing. Double that damage instead. That's ridiculous. We can bounce ECD with Yorion to grab the second, and then Extinction Event the third. Right? You got it. Like, we have to work through it somehow. That's absolutely ridiculous. The Lovestruck Beast is dead right now, though. And I want to save this event as long as we can. It's another Genesis Ultimatum that would pooch us. So many good cards in this deck, it's ridiculous. What? Alright, I'll take the scry. Why wouldn't they have played something? More land is what we were looking for. That allows us to play our Archon. And then we can Omen on top, which is good. Pass our turn. If they kill it, we get it back. You dog. That's even better. Alright. You know, that would have been amazing if we could have kept that in play and then Yorion on top. Another Elspeth Conquers Death and then a Doom. I like those just how they are. We're at 19 life. We might just bounce the Tome. They do have a lot of damage represented within their hand, though, so we need to be careful. We have to be careful here, you guys. Excuse me. That's an Obosh eruption. That's so good. Obosh and Terror combo. Oof, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Our turn. So we're sitting on 6 land, which isn't enough to be fun. I think we just keep repeating. I cannot allow 2 terrors to exist at once. That's absolutely ludicrous. Get some damage in, right? Woohoo! Look at us go. We've exiled a lot of goodies so far. They're not into it. That's going to be a win for us, and moving on. It was just pure control. No doom needed there. Well, not a lot of land here. Our opponent goes first. We get to pick up, and we scry. Let's just take it at face value. We do have our Treacherous Blessing, which is quite nice. Elspeth's Nightmare is not bad either. Elspeth Conquers Death is even better. We have no blue source, so let's get the Orzhov land in. We're looking for land at this point, so I think I'm just going to leave that there. We'll continue to scry. Oh, they might take our blessing. They might also take Conquer's Death. It's an awkward hand. It's nothing great. Obviously, our Doom Foretold's not in hand yet, so... You know, I think they'll probably take Treacherous Blessing or Mazemind Tome. Some of those value engines. No, they don't want us to see their hand, and they don't want us to discard their graveyard. As a, you know, apparently it is a Rakdos deck, so they'll be escaping Croxus and all those things. So at a certain point, we can start to, you know, push the agenda towards getting a Doom Foretold in play. We're going to be stacking these other non-lands along our journey. Calls the Dead. Interesting. Let's take a draw. The Skyclave can come in tapped. You know, now our passage can enter in at regular speed. We have a golden egg, we have a tome to play, so we can double down. Trying to play our blessing last, so we're not taking any unnecessary damage, as they are, you know, an aggro style deck. Hidden Tempo, that's a pretty cool name. Mad respect. I'm gonna toss Conquer's Death here. Oh, that's awkward, right? And, you know, I do think we want to thin our library, probably. Take any source here, doesn't really matter. We have blue in hand, remember, so... whatever. And then let's double draw. There it is. Okay. We can scry on their end step, so let's put a stop. What's even better than playing your blessing to find your doom is to play your blessing after your doom's already in play. Right? That's really, really enjoyable. Lockfoin in play, and Croxus enters. We have a few options that are really cool here. You know, I think I'm going to go probably with Doom Foretold to just put them immediately in the corner. So instead of dropping to 5, which we'll get to already organically, let's toss the land. We lose 3 life, whatever. Let's take our scry. Casket. That's actually really good too. But we don't really want to sack the casket. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna... I'll keep it. Because we get so many turns out of that because we have 3 other permanents to sack before we'd sack the casket. Plus a blessing, like... it'll just be okay. So Croxa goes to the grave, and they don't have enough to recast it. There could be others from the hand, I guess, right? We're taking another 4 damage though, which is actually quite hurtful. So we want to sack the tomes and, you know, we might even need to sack the eggs to gain life. They could take our blessing. They do. It's a nice draw engine for us. Calls the dead. Let's take our Scrag, they're tapped now. Just so we don't have to set a stop. Land can go. We don't have any creatures to pull with our ECD, so we don't need to go to 5. If anything, we want to get Yorion in play as a blocker. The zombies are pretty annoying, so we probably are looking for an Extinction Event. More land. I mean, the Omen's not bad. It's not a shatter though. We should have tossed it. This costs 2 to sack and eat it. So annoying. Zombies are doing work. Call of the Dead is gone. Still taking 4, down to 3. Tome can grab some life, but it's not enough. We can sack the casket because it took a token, so they won't get anything back. Okay. So we still toss our ECD. We need to play this. And we need the life gain. Right, like normally we'd bounce it back to 1, but I think we just need the life. So let's take our scry for the golden egg. It does kill one of them. And it gets rid of the graveyard, which is already gone. We get a draw. Now they have to sack their Croxa again. And we take 2 damage. Right? Trying to survive. I don't think they have anything with flash, any Blacklands Paragons in deck. Right? You could put that out beforehand and sack that instead of your Croxa. Normally, I try not to speak like that, right? Because then somehow they get those things in their deck. Oh, nice. That's actually really sad. These zombies, man. Non-token on the apparition. We can take one here, and when Doom Foretold fizzles, we get a 2/2 to defend against the other one. Plus we gain 2 life, which will take us to 5. So hanging in there, somehow. We can also keep... Oh no, Doom will fizzle on their turn. I was gonna say we could sack our Nightmare if we wanted, but it'll already be gone. Doom, that is, will be gone. Alright. End our turn. We do have an Omen to flash in as well. Scry 2, draw 1. So we're on such a limit here, right? It's not good. 2 Bone Crushers kills us. You know, we do go up to 5 here, and now we have the blocker, which is great, but they have 4 cards in hand. Right? There's one of those giants. Alright. We need a few answers, that's for sure. Some life gain would be great. Omen of the Sun would be good for this. Even, we're a little light on land for Dance. An Archon of Sun's Grace would be a pretty hot pick. If only we had some enchantments to play on top of that. We'll have to keep the apparition in hand to discard to negate the life loss of Kroxa entering. Alright. We get to also get into their hand here, which will be a little nice. Little bit of heaven for a second. What you got? Two Oxes. They're just waiting on land. Oh my god. Archon in play. One more land going. And then Yorion can at least bounce the Omen. And that should get us going, potentially. Still no land. Feels kind of bad. And now we get rid of the Kroxa. Good. We can deal with this giant. Right? The apparition doesn't deal with the Oxes, so let's just take this. We play the land. We don't even need to play the land. We can just straight up bring it into our hand. Oh my god! Victory is ours! I did not think we were going to win that. What a life. This hand might not be the best, but I think we should still keep it. Taking our scries out of the gate. Just rogues, gross. As soon as I see blue, I know that it's rogues. And 1, 2, 3, 4 land in hand. I guess we don't really need 5 yet, so let's start to throw them to the bottom. Oh, is it? Dude. Look at us learn a thing or two. Let's take it now. It could have negates, right? So I'm gonna do it at sorcery speed so that it doesn't get countered, and we do get to remove this pesky dragon out of play. The flyers, that's annoying. Oh, this is not a flyer, but still annoying. All right. We need to start lacing in these omens. We've got 3 of them. The life gain should sustain us for a little bit. That's 6 life in hand, and if we bounce it, it's 9, and we have 2 bounces. It could potentially, you know, be what, 24 life or something? Let's see if they counter it. Negative. No blocks. The caskets, I think, really nice here. Let's try to take the channeler out. Could be a negate, like we talked about. Some other form of counter magic, I don't doubt. Oh, they just go for the draw. So obviously you can't counter anything with red mana. Could kill the artifact. The shield breaker, I guess, right? Let's take our scry here, as we have nothing to play for 2. The egg is not bad. Not good, not bad. I'll keep it. It kind of fills the void. We will attack for 2. It could have haste, but we're at 20 life, so whatever. Let's just push in. That's their turn. That's totally fine. Let's play our egg. Draw a card. If it's not a land, we're going to pay for Emeria's Call. End our turn. Playing another Omen. They are drawing frantically, one might add. It's always good to see. Shock to the face, down to 15, whatever. That's just to drain their mana. So they want lots of instances and sorceries in the grave. So they've got big damage through that raptor, right? Probably that overload to bring something back from their grave and make an XX weird token. Lofty Denial. Okay, so we're using their mana on their turn. This puts us up to 6. Let's get Yorion in hand. Then we'll take our hit. You can do it! My connection's been a little bit poorer today than normal. Getting the hit in there, please and thank you. You know, down to 14, or at least keeping pace, and we do have more life gain available. That's their 3rd frantic inventory. That's a big draw, man. They have way too many cards in hand. Right? I guess, down to 6 now. Taking the shock on the 1/1, that's fine. Okay, the entity comes in at a reduced cost. They could play a second one as well, I think, here. That would be gross. Dun 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 dun. Spending their mana here. If they counter it. I assume they will. Don't. It did look like there was a hang up though. Elspeth Conquers Death. Definitely pulling the counter if it's there. Just piling on the value to flash with Yorion. Bounce, whatever you want to call it. Flicker. That's the appropriate term, right? And our attack lanes are clear. Let's get down to 11. We could dance at the Manse for 4, which is pretty cool. Taking back 1 Omen of this. Here's an opt. You know, the dragon gets bigger. Got haste, it's gonna hit us. Whatever. Ooh, an entity. Nice. Try 2, that's really good. We're gonna obviously Yorion because they're tapped here. And Yorion's gonna bounce absolutely everything. Gaining 4 life, making 4 1/1s, getting I don't know if we want to bounce the casket or not. The Channeler's a decent draw engine. Let's leave that. Good game, they're not into it. And again, continuing with this miraculous win rate. We threw one of the matches, so it would be 100%, winning 6 in a row. But, you know, we did go, what, 7-1 instead. So, crushing it with Esper. So the land here is really light. The only reason I'm going to keep it is because we have a Doom. Just want to say that out loud. This will be the Murkwater Pathway. We'll play our planes first to check it out, but that's what it feels like to me. Our 3rd land, that's really nice. Witch's Oven? In what world? Interesting. Mono green food. What are we gonna do with you? I know. We take the oven. And then we Doom the next drop, right? If you can use your Skyclave and then next use your Doom, that feels quite successful. But I guess we do need a non-land permanent out first. Self-struck beast can't attack is the thing. Not worried about it. Let's pass, and we will use our Omen of the Sun. But we have to Conquer's Death the Henge. They have like a ram through or something? Interesting. No. That's their turn. Let's Omen in. And even now the Doom is really good. I think we'll Doom right now. Egg can stay, that's perfect. They're tapped. They're gonna sack the beast, keep the henge. But unless they play multiples here, that's gonna be that. And then even if they do, we can Elspeth Conquers Death the henge, right? So it feels good. Let's see how it actually plays out though. Nice. It's a cheap draw. That means multiple permanents this turn because they still have 5 untapped mana. Interesting. Chat's saying Wicked Wolf. You know, I had that thought, but I didn't want to say it out loud because we know what happens when we do, right? If you guys have been hanging around with me for a while, lots of times we call these plays out loud, and when we do, they have a chance of coming true. The Inscription, that's not that bad. Tokens plus a fight, kills the apparition, gets the token. We're gonna Doom our Omen. And now we're gonna snag the henge. Right? We're obviously gonna have to sack Conquer's Death, but it's worth it to get the henge out of play. We're at 21 still, so, you know, we can hold on for a little bit. Oh, and They lose their 4/4. That's amazing. I was not even forecasting that far ahead. But this is great. I love this. Oh, the Gem Razor just kills Doom Foretold. You dog. They should kill Conquer's Death, and then the Hench fizzles. Or the Foretold kills itself. That's a really good play. No locks. Yorion can deal with it though, at least, right? That's upsetting. Doom Foretold, you let us down! Let's see if we can pull this off. Our opponent's got 2 cards in hand. Ha! Ha! Nice! Oh, we're so lucky to top deck another copy. Unless they have a Wildborn Preserver with Flash, we're gonna kill this Gem Razor. We can hit for 2 here. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Goodbye, Gem Razor. You got me the first time. Let's see if you can get us again. There's their 7th land. Oh, ho, 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 ho. They're looking at the top 7. They can pull any creature. If it's 3 or less, it comes in with an additional 3 +1/+1 counters. So, you know, Yorvo could come in as a 7/7. Eric's Harbinger's a 7/6. What have we done? Is this artifact or enchantment? Just enchantment. And we have 5 mana, so that's awkward. And this thing survives everything we do. That is super awkward. It doesn't have trample, so that's a nice asset to our Doom. No attacks, we can chump block them is what that means. And hopefully just kind of play on top of our Archon to go wide. And then bounce stuff to go even wider. They're down to 2 cards. And I'll tell you what, that Turn Timber Symbiosis into the 7/6 Harbinger is sexy. That's real good. If they can give this trample in any way, I think that's going to be game for us. Unless we can top deck removal. Right, another Conquer's Death. Potentially another Doom Foretold. Extinction Event. We are also getting to the point where a Dance of the Manse would be good if we could get maybe a few more lands in play. Obviously 5's a little shy, but getting close. Alright, one of them was a land. That's great. I would have kept that in hand. Let's just try to chump block with 1. Blue blob. That's fine. Our turn. That wouldn't grab it anyways. Oh no, it would, but protection from black. So let's try to just take a draw. See if we can find something more relevant than Elspeth's Nightmare. That is super duper relevant. Let's create the 2/2 with a life gain. You know, we don't get to slay anything of theirs. That's fine. What we will get to do is maybe potentially get into their hand if they don't play something. But what wouldn't they play? It's got to be just another land, right? And our Pegasi can go in, actually gaining us a little bit of life, back up to 20. Thank you. I guess it's not a Pegasus. He's riding a Pegasus, and it's the guy on top, the Archon, if you will. Alrighty, we're blocking here again with the 1/1. Looking good for us, and we can ECD this Harbinger, and that's gonna be the game. Oh no, this is even better than that. There's, well, the Apparition we can bring in. Let's just use the Casket because it's cheaper. And then we can bring our second Yorion in play. And it looks like we've squeezed out the win here. I mean, they do have, what, 12 life in food tokens, so That's gonna be a little bit for us to get them down, but it shouldn't be a problem. Let's take that hit. I'm gonna play the first Yorion. Yo. Bouncing the egg for the draw. It's too bad the casket is not an enchantment. That'd be really cool, but that's fine. Unfortunately, both of these are artifacts, and well, it's still good enough value to have the Archon in the deck, as far as I'm concerned. For the Omens, for the Nightmare, Conquer's Death. Oh, a little draw engine. Not too shabby. Gaining mass amounts of life here. And I guess we just snaggle daggle that uprising, don't we? It's really easy to control the match. You know, when you have 4 or 5 cards in hand, your opponent's top decking. It's like very easy. Take the scry. Land can go. And we are going to smash home here for quite an impressive amount. 9 damage, down to 10. I guess down to 13. And potentially only down to 16. So eating all these foods, really helping them survive. Right? They are determined to draw another card. We're up to 35 now, meanwhile. They've played 10 lands. Good game. And up to 83% win rate. And I'm telling you guys, we threw one of those matches so hard. That land looks really good. We have a Dance, which is kind of our payoff spell. So it's awkward to have it right away, but you know, the scries should help us pull non-land permanents. It's not a rogue deck, so they're not going to be milling us. So it's a little awkward. Let's start out with a temple. The apparition. This is Sultai. I'm gonna toss it for now. We're just gonna go on Doom Patrol, I guess. We don't know if there's any non-land permanents. It could be just strict control. Let's keep it slow, keep it steady. The eggs are really nice for us. You know, it's a draw plus a non-land permanent. Doesn't look like we'll need it for life gain. This is what, an ink trader deck, 4-color deck. So that's gross. We're gonna need to do something about that. This can get it potentially next turn. Let's enter tapped here, not spending any life that we don't have to. And I guess the apparition would have been a good keep. The Mimic copies the Scavenger. That's great. The event hits them both. Right? Kind of lame to use it just on 2 Scavengers, but they're threatening. Let's see what else is going on here. They still have a full Mitt. Yorion in hand. That's fine for us. They need to play a land here as well. They do. Okay. Good for them. Alright, we can egg in. And we can Omen of the Sun as well. Yeah, let's bring Yorion in rather than Omen. Hopefully pulling a land and we can Nightmare whatever they play, plus Omen of the Sun. If they just drop Yorion without a bounce, that's actually not that bad. We can't deal with it, but you know, there wasn't much value gained there. If we top deck a Doom, that's gonna be great. Almost. Almost. We have 6, let's pass, and we'll double Omen. We could potentially double Nightmare as well, but there's nothing to hit. They're coming in tapped again. Fine. We're taking damage, but we're going to gain it all back. And then we can hit for just as much damage. There's the first. Could be a counterspell. Nope. And here is the second. We could pull a Doom Foretold, that'd be great. We don't. So, I think I want a Yorion here. Bounce our whole field. Obviously not the tokens, but the eggs and the omens. That's fine, it's still on the stack. Unos, dos, tres, catorce. Elite blue blob. We had to attack for 4 here, which is, you know, relatively acceptable. On 17. Omen's in play. Grab that life, which really helps mitigate any Yorion shenanigans, and we do get Doom. So next turn, we're ready to strike. Okay, that's not that bad. I don't see them sacking their Yorion though. Pull a 6-drop, that would be cool. And they have to sacrifice an enchantment to pull creatures, the other way around. So Subdual's gone. For 2, they pull something worth 3. It's the Apparition, and it can hit an Omen. Whatever. Not bad, not good. If 3 mana. We're sitting on 8. We can use our Nightmare. Trying to pull counter magic, and there goes the Skyclave. We get a 3/3, which is alright, and that's going to be game, and we're ready to drop Doom on top of them, and, you know, easy peasy. Continuing that win streak, and let's get 2 more into Platinum 1. Alright, what did you guys think of the deck? What did you guys think of my awesome misplays? Would you change the deck at all? I think, you know, it's really well balanced. You know, maybe more tomes. I could get behind that a little bit. But the egg as the draw is just really, really, really good. At a certain point, just draw over scry. Makes sense unless you can stack them and scry multiple times, but I don't know. It feels good. It feels well balanced. Obviously, we had a great session with it. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out our 500,000 gem giveaway, free cash prize tournaments, blah, 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 blah. More info in the Discord, so I don't have to yell about it. I want to get some graphic overlays that just kind of advertise that stuff while I'm doing my own jazz, so I don't have to bring it up all the time. But you guys know the ordeal, right? Thanks for your time and attention, and we'll see you soon with another video. Take care. Peace.